Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all well. And don't just wander fucking through and go, oh, it's not bloody Peter Shortgett. Here we are. Look, I've got my favourite shirt on, Grumpy Old Git. A lot of people say it's exactly right. Well, I might be a grumpy old git, and I know I'm fucking old, and I know I've had a bit of a tumble the last few days. It's been pretty shit. But I'm getting there finally. But I'm reading this article, and I'm just watching live. The American dollar at 139 to a pound. Fuck me. So if you're a tourist going to America from the UK, whoop-de-fucking-do, you can let your head down and really enjoy yourself. That's a good thing. But for Americans coming to the UK or Europe, they're in the trouble because right now the euro is at 120. Yeah, 20. It's quite extraordinary. €1 buys $1.20. I think it's the highest it's ever been. The American dollar is plummeting in value. Trump has said yesterday he's not concerned about it. He's quite happy with it. Of course, it means exports are cheaper. That's a good thing if you're buying American goods. But if you're importing stuff, it costs a lot more. So it's a two-edged sword. You've got to weigh one against the other, which is good, which is bad. Now, I understand interest rate decision is going to be made by the Fed imminently, and we'll find out exactly which way they go there. They certainly don't want to decrease interest rates. Holy shit, the bottom will really fall out of that money. And of course, people are going to the safe haven. Who would have thought gold at over $5,000 an ounce? Over 5,000, went up to as high as 5,300. It dropped. It's very volatile at the moment. If you're a day trader, you'll know all about that. It's down to about 5,000, but moving quite dramatically. But anyway, who would have thought gold could be that valuable? No, I mean, gold's always been valuable, don't get me wrong, except if you're fucking Gordon Brown when he's a chancellor and he sells that fucking gold for nothing. That's another story, but anyway, imagine the amount of money he would have made if he'd have kept hold of that gold that we gave away virtually all those fucking years ago, and nobody fucking talks about it except me. What a bloody disgusting fucking individual he was. But anyway, going back to the economy, we are in trouble here in the UK. We do have a problem. We do have a problem with our debt. Anyway, everything will be sorted because guess what? Bloody Starmer is he's over in China now, and he's meeting up with President Xi of China and doing whatever he's going to do. I don't know. And that's probably why they gave the go-ahead for the super embassy to be built in London there a couple of weeks ago. Quite frankly, I don't care. I'm sure we can sort things out. My God, it's just a building, and at the end of the day, Britain, we are quite clever when it comes to things like espionage and spying. After all, we wrote all the books on, didn't we? Ian Fleming and John le Carre and all the rest of it. And Bruce Forsyth, I was going to say, not Bruce. And it was the other guy, Forsyth, that wrote all those wonderful books. Why am I rabbiting on? I love rabbiting on anyway. Who gives a fuck? And now going back to something that really fucking got me going this morning. I was so fucking angry. Yes, I was unbelievably angry about this. Starmer led a witch hunt against Iraqi veterans. These bloody guys, Keir Starmer was a QC at that time, and Chambers in London, and Richard Hermer, I think he's Lord Hermer now, and the Doughty Street Chambers as well, had a legal case that opened the doors to hundreds of British soldiers being pursued for alleged war crimes. Yeah, court documents unearthed by the Telegraph revealed Sir Keir was a lead barrister on the case, which ultimately led the Ministry of Defence to order fresh inquiries into the deaths in Iraq. It triggered years of criminal investigation into soldiers who'd been wrongly accused at enormous cost to the taxpayer. Oh, well, it's only fucking money. It's only the British taxpayer who pays. It's a bit like illegal immigrants and not telling us the real truth about the crimes that they're committing right as we speak. And that's another fucking story I could go on about illegal immigration and the cost of the British economy and this government with no plan and action to do anything about it. Fucking disgusting. And, of course, Keir Starmer is over in China right now doing whatever he's going to do over there. As part of the 2007 case, Sir Keir and Lord Hermer urged the courts to order a fresh inquiry into a British soldier who had already been cleared twice of murder over the death of an Iraqi man in 2003. We were at war, by the way. Telling judges that earlier investigation had been perfunctory and wholly inadequate. What a disgusting individual that bastard is. I can't stand him. He's our Prime Minister and I can't stand him, and I don't know why anybody would have voted for this Labour Party. They really are an absolute fucking disgrace. What's going on in Japan with regard to their economy, I don't know. but they're very concerned. People are very concerned about it. She's Takashi, who's the female, won the election to be her party's leader, and thus Prime Minister. Her main rival, Shinzo Koizumi, son of former PM, might have best had his campaign not shot himself in the foot over a stupid scandal. Takashi seemed professional in comparison, and she's been a lawmaker for 33 years, and Donald Trump seemed to like her, and she plays a pretty good set of drums, by the way. And being a female, I think he has to do it. She's quite competent. But what's going on with the Japanese bond market is very concerning. There are a lot of clever economists out there, and you've probably seen their posts, far cleverer than me, and I'm not an economist. I put that out there immediately. I'm just an ordinary old boy. I follow the markets a little bit and understand a bit about it. But most of Japanese debt is owned by the Japanese, and it's enormous. But they're also one of the biggest holders of American debt. Now, figures we don't know exactly, but in excess of 1 trillion. By the way, the UK holds a huge amount of American debt. The dollar is under tremendous pressure. Will it collapse? That's a big word to use. I don't think so. But somebody somewhere has to do something about the American dollar, because we all rely on the dollar, by the way. Whether we like it or not, we may have our own currency, like we still have the pound. We didn't go to the euro, but the European countries and everywhere else be concerned, because remember, if your money is strong against the dollar, it means that you can buy American goods, but they can't buy yours. And exports are the way, they're the thing that keeps things going. And of course, Germany and their car industry. What a shambles they're in. I thought our car industry, which is virtually non-fucking existent anymore in the UK, but the Americans are even worse. So I don't know what's going on in the world, but it's a very, very strange world we live in. TikTok was bought by the new owners. I believe it was all signed, sealed and delivered a few days ago. And it certainly affected my TikTok, so I'm getting no views virtually. And I'd appreciate it if anybody out there is watching or listening could give us a like or a comment on anything. I didn't post anything yesterday because I was so disappointed in my previous performance over the past few days here on TikTok. Whether I continue, I don't know. I'll see. But let me know if you're viewing it, and particularly in the UK and in America and Australia, Canada, wherever you may be, and you follow me in any way, let me know, because I need to know what's going on, as I think a lot of people do on this platform. I think it's an amazing platform, by the way, and I've been a great advocate of it for many, many years. Anyway, take care, look after yourself, for Pete's sake. Bye.